Hello everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon on planet Earth. You can see I actually slept in them. Thank you very, very much, that lady. It was a different lady who I thought, and both emailed me last night, one to say no, it wasn't me, and the other lady who it was said yes, it was me. And thank you for the email and the lovely photograph. I'm not going to say who either of them are, because the one who did send me these and the other earrings, she doesn't want anybody to know. She's very private, and very, very lovely looking lady. I'm still not in prison, haven't been arrested. Just thought I'm going to mention that every time. And I'm pretty sure Wally hasn't been arrested and isn't in prison, because she's still uploading every day on Rumble, and she's got a pet hedgehog now. That's an amazing prison, isn't it? Excellent Wi-Fi, you can upload daily vlogs, you can have a hedgehog and a couple of cats. That's an incredible prison, isn't it? All these bold claims people make on the internet. Anyway, today I'm going to surprise myself, actually. I never thought I'd find myself saying this, and a lot of you are probably going to be shocked. I'm going to kind of defend Meghan Markle, because this is something that, well, I can't see how it's her fault. Now, there have been some lovely sugars commenting. As I've said, there was one particularly sweet person this morning who said, I think her exact words were, "I love Meghan and no one's ever gonna change my mind." And I thought that was lovely, and I wouldn't dream of changing your mind. I can't remember your tag name, but I wouldn't try and change anybody's mind. If people genuinely love Meghan, they love Meghan. Everybody's got supporters and critics, and that's what this is. Stop using the word haters. Nobody hates Meghan. I certainly don't hate Meghan. Hate is an unbelievably strong word. I hate what she represents. I hate what she's doing. I mean, when I grew up in the 70s, racism was awful. It was awful. And not only that, homophobia and sexism like you wouldn't believe. In fact, one time, I'll come to the racism was overt. It was overt. They were using all sorts of words. Even as a child, and I didn't really understand the meaning. And then we had a TV show which was absolutely brilliant called Roots. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And I watched that as a child, and I was shocked, absolutely horrified at the way things had been at one time for people of colour. And people would get thrown out of pubs, you know. "Oh, you're the wrong colour, get out the pub." People used the P word, the N word, they used everything. It was awful. And as for homophobia, lots and lots of people back in the 70s and 80s, they were too scared to tell their parents that they were gay, because the parents, a lot of them, would disown them and say, "I don't want anything to do with you." Oh, and then AIDS came along, and that was a nice, easy excuse, wasn't it? And then Princess Diana came along and said, "Come on, they need a hug. Stop it, everybody." And everything sort of changed from that perspective. Well, the sexism, basically, if you went out with any makeup on, or your skirt was a bit short and a girl got raped, the old Bill would say, "Well, you're asking for it. You should stay in after dark. Don't wear makeup, and you're wearing a skirt." Honestly, a lot of that used to go on. And I actually went for a coffee in a hotel in Brighton with a school friend. We just went in, I think it was the Metropole on the seafront. And it was the afternoon, we hadn't even ordered coffee. We were going to have sort of afternoon tea. I think I was about 15 and she was about a little bit younger than me, 13, 14. Just a couple of girls wanting afternoon tea. And we had makeup on, nothing outrageous. And the manager came over and he said, "You're prostitutes. Get out, you slags." And I had that at more than one place. That was quite common, and it was no detriment to me. It was just, that was the way generally women were spoken to and treated. In fact, another occasion, I was with a boyfriend on West Street, and there used to be a load of fruit machine arcade type places down there. And I was standing outside with a friend, because my boyfriend, I was really into it, and I thought it was boring. I was standing outside, and somebody threw something, I don't know what it was to this day, and it hit me right on the eye. And boy, it hurt. So I went out, I was sitting on the pavement, and the manager came out and he went, "Get up, you slag, you're giving my place a bad name." And I said, I've just been hit by a missile, and my eye was actually starting to turn black. And he said, I don't care. Fuck off, you tart. How many times I have to tell you, or do you want a slap? That was the 1980s in brightness, from a woman's perspective, from a teenage girl's perspective. Maybe I know a lot of other people get defensive about the 80s, but in my experience, they're generally people who were probably in their 20s and 30s during the 80s, and people don't talk to you like that. Not now, Graham. I should have taken the Wi-Fi. But the only time I get decent Wi-Fi is when I'm doing one of these recordings, and then it's what's that? So some of the commenters have been absolutely lovely. Now, the way I'm going to defend Meghan is some of you sugars out there, and you should actually be called sours or salties. That's what the kids call you. Oh, you're getting salty. You're vile. Your comments are vile. You haven't even bothered to look up my channel, who I am, where I'm coming from. Some of them actually think I'm a gardener. They think I'm really into gardening. So they've just popped along, avid gardener, right, she's a gardener, called me a Karen, get back to your cleaning, you're just a cleaning lady. They don't know jack shit about me. They jump into all these wild assumptions, hugely insulting. It doesn't bother me, but I can see why a lot of you guys really hate, I bet there are people who hate Meghan, because of people like that. Just when someone's actually sort of coming around and thinking, well, maybe she's not that bad, along come a swarm of these vicious, toxic, poisonous little ambassadors. And that's what you are. If you're a supporter of Meghan, you are an ambassador of hers. You're showing her up. You are doing her so much damage. I mean, no haters could do any more damage. With friends like you lot, she doesn't need any enemies. You're sick, vile and disgusting. Only the ones and you know which ones you are. You just go on, you're an anonymous keyboard warrior, and you're talking to all these people like they're dog shit. And what you don't realise is when people read your dog shit comments, they think you're the dog shit. Oh, and Princess Diana never had fans like that. I never recall seeing it. Another bloody fly. Where's my fly spray gone? I've had a brilliant ice cold shower this morning. Thankfully it's a little cooler now. I think the weather is going to improve. So yeah, in what way do you think going around calling people names and Karen, and apparently I'm a grandmother? Well, that's news to me. So I'm not only in prison, but one of my two kids has given birth, or his girlfriend's given birth. Really? When did that happen? Good God. Is that because I'm 51? Or maybe I'm a great granny? How old are you, 12 or something? Well, yes, some people are grandmothers at my age, and younger. But to just make an assumption like that, I'm just a cleaning lady. Oh, God. Can you imagine their little faces if they saw the dolphins? How shallow and stupid. And they make these comments, they not only make Meghan look bad, they make themselves look so fucking stupid. Princess Diana never encouraged that. And I think Meghan endorses it. Because why doesn't she stand up and say, pack it in, stop it? Why doesn't she stop race baiting? Why doesn't she stop being so divisive? I think a lot of us know the answer to that question, don't we? It's very, very sad. You know, she's a lovely looking girl. And we all watched the wedding from the Dolphin Safari office. We all watched it live on the internet. And I loved the Queen Mary's bandeau. I loved that. I thought that was so classy. I had no idea, because the Tiara Gate thing didn't come out till later. I had no idea. I thought she'd chosen that. I mean, I thought it was a brilliant choice. Lovely. I liked her dress. I loved the way the light shone through the chapel windows and sort of on the white dress picked up all the colours. I loved all that. And we were all very, very impressed with it, especially the tiara. We all, us girls at Dolphin Safari, we all talked about the tiara a lot. She had everything. She had Princess Diana's youngest, castles, palaces. All of them in the royal family get hate. They get a lot of hate. Even Diana. Diana had big critics. But she just ignored it, and she got on and she proved them all wrong. And that's the thing, it's the ones that are in the royal family that win. Like Princess Anne, all her life blanked it. Diana largely blanked it. The Queen She is an expert at blanking it. And they have their own private life behind where they can relax and they've got some money. But Meghan could have done so much. There's a lady called Julie Montague. She's American. She is the Viscountess Hinchinbrook, I think. And I love her. She's so funny. She's got a YouTube channel. And one day I think she'll be the Countess of Sandwich. And she loves her in-laws. And she talks a lot about how different it is being in Britain. And the language is tricky. And British customs and stuff. And she fully embraces it. And one of the things I was shocked about in Tom Bower's book was that Meghan was taken to... I think it was the chapel in Windsor Castle to see the great older kings and queens that had been buried there, because they're not all in the Abbey. I thought they were all in the Abbey. In fact, I wondered how they fitted them all in. And she didn't want to know. She said, I'm bored. I don't care. Shut up about all this. And one of them was, I think, George III. Wasn't he the Mad King George? Lost America under his throne. I don't care. Not interested. Give me some air fresheners. You know? That is in Bower's book. Now, some of you have said Bower's a gossip, Bower's a liar. Well, he's put it in print and his publisher's gone with it, and she's not suing. She's not suing. That has got to tell you a lot. So, a message to all the lovely sugars out there. You carry on loving Meghan. That's your right. No one's got the right to tell you who you can and can't follow. No one's got the right to tell any of us if we like Meghan or not. But to the vile sugars... Oh boy, well all we have to do is just sit back and let you do your worst, because you are doing that girl no favours at all. You are making her hated. You are doing it. And I've seen this lady on the telly, Dr. Scholler. I never heard of her before. Oh boy, she has vastly contributed towards Meghan being hated. The way she shouts and screams and... accuses and yells over the other guests. It's terrible. Terrible. If you love Meghan, be more like the nice Meghan. I'm not even going to call the nice ones sugars. I'm going to call them Meghan supporters, because they're respectful, kind and sweet, and they deserve the respect. You other sugars, you don't deserve any respect, and I tell you what, you're never going to get it going about life that way. See you all below.